Today we're going to be going over 7 fall fragrances that I just can't wait to wear. Of course, summer is one of my favorite seasons for fragrances and really just one of my favorite seasons in general. I love the warm weather, I love the heat, I love summer related activities, and of course the fragrances that go along with it are some of my favorites. However, usually right around this time, now we are into August, which is crazy how quickly this summer is gone. Then I start to miss some of my fall fragrances. I start to miss the cooler weather, and I kind of start to get a little bit tired of the extremely hot temperatures. And I'm not sure if you can hear or see, but it's actually raining right now. I'm under a little bit of a covering here so I don't get wet, but figured it'd be kind of cool to be out here and do a video in the light rain. So as I just said, today I'm going to be going over 7 of my fall fragrances that I just can't wait to wear. Of course, this isn't going to be like my top 7 or top 10 fall fragrances list. That will be coming once we get closer to fall. Probably going to do a designer and niche version of that video. So today I'm just going to be highlighting a few fall fragrances that I'm starting to crave. And make sure you do get subscribed to the channel and give this video a like so that way you can be notified of my new videos and, well, you'll be able to see my fall fragrances videos once those finally drop. First up here we have Zara Wanted by Night. A great Zara Wanted flanker, and one that has gotten a lot of love in the fragrance community. You guys know the original Zara Wanted wasn't really my thing. I just wasn't a fan of it. I didn't like how lemony sweet it was. It kind of gets compared a little bit to Invictus, and I do get that comparison, but I think, if I want that type of DNA, I'll always be reaching for Invictus. It's just a bit too lemony, sweet, and strong for my liking. But Zara Wanted by Night is a great improvement over the original. This one still has a bit of that Zara Wanted DNA, but it also has a nice cinnamony sweet touch. It gives it definitely a nighttime appeal, right? A Zara Wanted by Night, that would be, something that would come to mind, kind of a nighttime flanker because of that sweetness that it has, but it also just gives it overall a fall smell. Like, it has that cinnamon note and it just gives it like a fall smell, which smells great. It's a great scent for the season of fall. I think that's what this one is suited for. Fall and winter, two of the best, but really for me, when I smell this one, I think of the season of fall or autumn. It's really suited for that. It just has a nice, crisp, cool smell, and when you are wearing it in some of the cooler weather, it smells incredible. Moving up next here, we have CH Men Prive, another fantastic scent. I've talked about this one on the channel quite a bit, and I've actually had this one for a long time. This was, again, one of the fragrances that I picked up pretty early on in my collecting habit, and it does smell incredible. I love how it smells. For me, if it performed better, it would be one of my go-to winter scents because it does have a lot of that depth, that nice leather, whiskiness, sweetness that I'd wear in winter. It just doesn't perform that good, so I usually just use this one in fall, and that's about it. Again, it's one that I would wear more than I do if it performed better. I still do reach for it from time to time in fall because I do really enjoy it, but it's not one that I'll usually necessarily wear out that often. I'll kind of stick to it for situations just kind of around the house, going outside, bonfires at my home and things like that, just because it doesn't perform that great. I have to reapply, which is a bummer because it smells so good. If they could release, like a Prive Intense, like CH Men Prive Intense, obviously that's kind of weird, but if they could bring this like DNA back and just make it stronger, that would be nice. And I just noticed that this is actually an eau de toilette. If they could make like a CH Men Prive EDP, come on, that would be killer. If this stuff performed better and had a bit more sweetness and depth, I think this would be a winner, even more so than it already is. Moving up next, we have Prada Loma Intense. This is another fantastic one. It's that Prada Loma DNA, but with more focus on leather and some other sweeter notes. You still do get that iris, and it is going to be prominent here, but the leather really comes in and just sweetens up this scent and makes it a bit more kind of like an evening type of scent, and also just more of a fall fragrance. The original Prada Loma is a soapy, clean office scent that can be worn for year-round. This one, again, kind of goes more in that cooler weather direction because of the depth that it has, and it's one that I would really see myself reaching for a lot in the fall, probably in the winter as well, but I think kind of the milder temperatures of fall where it's not too cold yet, something like Prada Loma Intense would work great because although it has a bit more depth than the original, it's still not like a super heavy winter fragrance that you would like in the winter time. Up next, we have a pretty common one for me, Dolce & Gabbana The One Eau de Parfum. Yeah, this is a fall fragrance all the way through, and it's one of my personal favorites. Fall and winter, best seasons for it, but also fall is when I really kind of start breaking it out and wearing it again, just because it is sweeter, and it's kind of a good transition from going from those super citrusy summer fragrances into some sweeter fall fragrances without going like super heavy deep into the winter type of scent, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of more of a gradual change from fresher to sweeter. This one kind of eases you into it, which I like a lot. I love the scent. It's a masterpiece in my opinion, and it's a great one for fall that I can't wait to start wearing again. Moving along, we have John Varvatos Pour Homme, just the original here, just the original Pour Homme. Of course, there are multiple flankers. There's Dark Rebel Rider, there's Vintage, and I do love all of those, and I do own all of those, but I also really like just the original John Varvatos. It smells great. Now, this one is a little bit fresher than some of these other ones. It's got like fur. I believe it also does have the leather. There's a lot of note in this scent. I mean, when you look, there's a lot going on, and I don't really necessarily smell a lot of them. It doesn't smell maybe as complex as it looks on the note breakdown. For example, if you look at like a Rouge à Dove scent, Rouge à Parfums, a lot of those have very extensive note breakdowns, and you can smell there's multiple layers of that scent. There's a lot of depth going on. This one does have a lot of notes, but doesn't quite have the type of depth associated with that. But it does still smell really nice, a bit more fresher than the other ones like I mentioned, which is all right, kind of for those more mild fall days that you will have, especially living here in the Midwest like I do. In fall, you could still have summer sometimes. Like, it can get warmer in fall than you would really like it to, which is kind of crazy weather mood swings. So, this one is a bit more mild and fresh for those days when, it's not going to be super cold out. Moving along, we have Armani Stronger With You. To me, it smells very similar to Replica by the Fireplace from Maison Margiela, which is their Replica line. So basically, they're just trying to kind of recreate smells that you would associate with certain things or events or whatever. A couple other examples would be something like Jazz Club at the Barber's. Obviously, that one's going to be a barbershop type of scent, smelling like shaving cream and all that. Like they have like Walking on the Beach or something kind of like that. Whispers in the Library. So you get the idea here. They kind of try to recreate these certain moments, and obviously Replica by the Fireplace, pretty good way to describe it there. It smells like you're sitting by the fire in the winter. It's got this like roasted chestnut note. It smells like you're roasting marshmallows kind of. And Stronger With You is like a more designer version of that. Doesn't quite go to that level of smelling like wood and smoke and burning, with sweetness, but it does get you pretty close, and it is a delicious smelling scent. The only issue I have with this one is performance. I got one of the original bottles when this first came out, and it didn't perform well on me, and this is a newer bottle here, 150 ml, and it still doesn't perform the best. It's not awful, but I do wish it was a lot better, and I would wear it more. Regardless, it is still a great fall scent, and it's one that I've definitely been craving as I've gotten this one into my collection again. And finally, last up, we have Givenchy Gentleman Only. This is, for those of you who are unaware, haven't smelled it, whatever, or haven't heard too much about it, is kind of a Spice Bomb Eau de Toilette smelling fragrance to some extent. It's got that spicy, warm, cinnamon undertone, and yeah, it does resemble Spice Bomb quite a bit. It's one where it's a bit more mild than Spice Bomb. So you may be asking, well, why would I buy this when I could get Spice Bomb? One, this is going to be a bit cheaper at around $50. And also, like I just said, it's a bit more mild. Spice Bomb Eau de Toilette, I love it. It's a great scent. It does smell really good despite it being, a bit played out, old, generic, or whatever. But it is very strong, very sharp, very spicy. This one's a bit more smoothed out, a bit more mellow, a bit more well-rounded, and it's just kind of an easier to wear, a bit more maybe grown-up take to some extent on that Spice Bomb EDT DNA. It smells great, and again, it smells really good, especially for fall time. When I smell this one, it just makes me want that nice cool air, cool weather again after we've been having these extremely hot days. This is one I can't wait to wear. So guys, that was going to do it for me. That was my top 7 fall fragrances that I can't wait to wear. Again, I've been enjoying summer. I love the summer fragrances, but as I've been starting to kind of revisit and smell some of my fall and winter fragrances, I got to admit, I am ready for the change that's going to be coming up here in like a month or so. So Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what fall fragrances you can't wait to start wearing. And that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow night with another one. Take care.